Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I thought I'd just do a quick video as I was driving to Cambridge to see my parents, and just talk about how Amazon's been going for me this year and a few updates, things like that. Also, I guess I've got a few questions to answer from people who've asked me questions over the past few weeks, so that is always a good thing to talk about as well. But yeah, so I'll answer those. So how's Amazon been going for me? To be honest, I can't complain. I've been absolutely crushing it. I'm on about £17,000 profit since January 1st, 2024. And today is the 25th of February, I believe. So about 17,000 profit, which is really nice. It's been going very well. You can just see if you keep putting in the work on Amazon, keep grinding away, keep working, keep sourcing, then eventually you'll build up your profits, and it goes very well basically. And by the way, I'm using a new setup here. I've got this new DJI Mic 2 thing set up. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, hopefully the audio quality is going to be much better on these car videos. Worst case, though, I'll have to use the GoPro audio. Hopefully not. But yeah, so can't complain. A few other updates as well. I have now got a storage locker. So I finally bit the bullet and got a storage locker, just because my apartment was just getting really full of stock. And to be honest, it's still full of stock. My apartment's full of Lego and all sorts of fun stuff like that. A lot of returns actually in there. But yeah, I've got the storage locker now. Just a sort of smallish 80 square foot storage locker, which cost me about £200 a month. Got some insurance for that as well to make sure I'm all insured on it. And yeah, it's really good to store my stock and keep things a little bit more organised. So that was quite a nice little step towards progressing in my Amazon business. And yeah, overall going really well. Cannot complain. I just hope that I can keep it up. My goal for this year is £100,000 profit, and I'm well ahead of my goal. Well, not well ahead. I'm slightly ahead of my goal. I'm about 3 or 4 days ahead of my goal in terms of profit, which is great. So yeah, really good basically. I'm trying to think what else has happened. And by the way, I'm driving to Cambridge in my new Lamborghini Urus. So I hope you guys like that. I'm joking, by the way. This is not a Lamborghini. This is a Ford C-Max. But yeah, so maybe one day I'll get a Lamborghini. Who knows? What else is there to talk about then? It's just good tips for you guys who are looking to get into Amazon or are looking to scale your Amazon business. One thing I've done this year is I've pretty much totally eliminated health and beauty. I just will not get into that category. I think it's oversaturated. I think a lot of beginners get into that category. In fact, I know they do. Most beginners start selling in health and beauty. A lot of other sellers get into health and beauty, like existing sellers. And I think it's just one of the worst categories to get into. It used to be really good because the profits used to be fantastic, but they just tend to get very saturated now, the listings, and just no longer that great anymore. And recently as well, there's been 2 brands that have been restricted on Amazon, or will be restricted from I think April 2024, and they are the Vichy brand and the La Roche-Posay brand, which are 2 brands that a lot of people sell on Amazon. They've been great brands to sell, especially La Roche-Posay. A lot of people have sold that brand, but that's now going to be a restricted brand, along with other ones like Davidoff and Hugo Boss, etc. So that kind of sucks for people doing health and beauty. They'll have to branch out into other brands. Excuse me there. Just drinking this Prime energy drink. I don't know if you can see it. It's not too bad actually. Lemon and lime. Not too bad. The normal Prime drink tastes disgusting, but the energy drink isn't too bad. So what else? Other tips have I got? So yeah, I think getting into a different category other than health and beauty is a good one. That is the most saturated category, I think. or if you are going to stay in that category, start looking at other brands that you can sell that aren't so saturated. And the other category that I think is very saturated, that a lot of people do, is sort of the toys and games, video games, that kind of thing. Again, I think that's actually an okay category, but it is somewhat saturated. And then you've got categories like electronics, which are just, a lot of people sell electronics. I've sold a lot of electronic items in the past, gaming headsets, all things like that. And wow, gaming headsets are, although they can be very profitable, you get so many returns and they're trashed and they're disgusting, full of dandruff. You basically have to throw them in the bin. But yeah, so I think it's really good to just figure out a good category and then become an absolute expert in that category. So let's say you're going to get into garden tools, for example, as your category, or just tools or whatever it is, like electrical tools, or it doesn't have to be whatever it's going to be, like DIY or whatever, or garden. It doesn't matter what it is. Learn about all the brands like Bosch, DeWalt, whatever. Become an expert. Find out where you're going to be able to source these from. Really get very good at understanding the places you can buy these from, what brands there are, what models there are, what are the most popular models, the most popular brands, and then sign up to all the newsletters on all these different sites that you can source from. And keep an eye out for discount codes, newsletters, things like that to source. You need to learn the sales cycles as well. Maybe Bosch do a sale every 3 months. Maybe an older model is going out of stock, out of out of production for a new model. So there could be a good bit of opportunity there to pick that model up for cheap. You become an expert in whatever category you're in. And I think that is the key to Amazon for the next few years before things change. And one thing you need to learn is that Amazon is a business that is constantly changing, and what worked last year or the year before that might not work, in the next few years, as more and more people kind of jump into it, that sort of business model. So, and another thing I'm going to say as well is try and think outside the box a little bit. Everyone who does Amazon in terms of like online arbitrage and things like that, they all just do the same thing. They all source the same sites. They all sell the same products. And when that happens, you end up with just products that are no longer profitable. Everyone's selling the same items. Everyone, end up bricking the price for no reason whatsoever. And if you're a new person, by the way, getting into Amazon, don't start bricking the price on a listing. All you're going to do is just make it so no one makes any money. But although it's pointless me saying this anyway, because you can't fight the market, and prices will drop on an item when there's lots of people on there. So yeah, those are my tips for getting started. And I had a question from an old student who was just asking about sourcing or what sourcing methods I use. And I've got a video, and I'll put the link up to it here, about the different sourcing methods. But I think the most effective ones right now that I like are the sort of newsletter sourcing. And this is where basically you sign up to a bunch of different sites, ideally in your category, and you get the newsletters, and then every day, every morning, you check the newsletters as they come in, and you see what offers are on. Maybe they've got a discount code. That means you're going to be early in on that discount code. Maybe they've got a particular item that's on offer, whatever, basically. And then when you get that email, you look through it, you go, oh, this looks promising, and then you go and source that site. You've got to source sites that have offers on, that have discount codes currently, that have some sort of sale on. We're not buying items for RRP and selling them for a tiny margin on Amazon. Ideally, we're looking to buy things that are a bargain, that are on sale. And that is where the money is made. The money is made in the buy, not the sell. You need to be buying these things for a good price. So, and the way you do that is is coupon codes and things like that. So that is the best way to source, in my opinion. The other good way, although I'm not an expert on this, I will admit, is keep a product finder. Figuring out some good filters, go in with a strategy. Am I looking for products that are popular on Amazon but are now out of stock. You know, that could be one particular niche or strategy you're going in with when you're looking on Keeper Product Finder. It could be that you're looking for items that do well at Christmas. So maybe they have a poor sales rank throughout the year, and then the sales rank, you know, goes sky high at Christmas. I think it's always good to go into Keeper Product Finder with a strategy of looking for a particular product and a product at a particular time, maybe. You know, it's having a good strategy for that. So, and there's obviously a ton of different strategies. Like I said, you can look for out of stock items. You can look for items where the seller count's dropped over the past 3 months, where the price has gone up, where the sales rank spikes seasonally. What else could you do? I don't know. There's so many that I can't even think off the top of my head. Next thing I'm going to talk about is seasonality as well, as I brought up earlier. You need to be thinking about ideally trying to take advantage of seasonal items. So right now we've got Easter coming up. You know, what's popular at Easter? You know, you tell me. Obviously Q4, you've got Christmas. What are good items for Christmas? What do people buy? What is a good summer item? You know, when summer comes around. In America, back to school is really popular. I don't know, I actually don't know the answer to this. Is that a good seasonal time for the UK, for UK sellers? I don't know. You know, selling backpacks, books, all those kind of things. You know, just anything really. So those things to look into, and you should look at every single season and figure out if it's worth sourcing items for that particular item. And when I say seasons, I mean what's the word I'm looking for? You know, things like, it's not seasons. Don't know what the word is, but I can't think off the top of my head. But you know, particular sales times like Valentine's, Christmas, Easter, summer, winter, whatever. You know, all these different times. Hanukkah, whatever it is, whatever kind of holiday season comes around, worth looking into. Now I'm trying to think what the questions people have asked me about selling on Amazon. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying this video, please do subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that, and that way you can get access to all my other videos, or get notified anyway if you click the bell. And if you could leave me a comment as well, I'd really appreciate that, so I know I'm doing a good job. And yeah, just check out my other videos, guys. I'm trying to put out more content. I've just recently released a video telling you how to actually get started on Amazon, like the steps that I took and the steps that I recommend for anyone who is looking to get started on Amazon. And mainly that is, you know, joining a Discord group, one of the two that I recommend. Although there's a bunch out there, there's two that I can recommend personally. You know, and learning how to do it, getting the correct tools, and going from there. So it is a very sort of beginner-centric video, but it's very useful for people to learn how to do it, basically, because you just need to learn. With anything in life, you need to learn how to do things, and you know, Amazon's no different than anything else. So you need to learn how to get started. You need, you know, it's just building knowledge over time. And as I mentioned in that video as well, Amazon's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You know, it's a real business. It takes a long time to build up. You know, you need to build up your own knowledge, build up your inventory, you know, build up your capital, build up your business overall. And it takes a while. And you know, while I've made £17,000 this year so far, I certainly hadn't made that much this time last year. So I can't remember what I made in my first year. It was around 60,000 profit. So you can see, you know, I've done almost a third of that in less than 2 months. So that's the other thing about Amazon, is it's an exponential business. The more work you put in, the more effort you put in, and the more sourcing you do, the faster it can grow. And yeah, and you sort of stick with it as well. That's half the battle as well. Just sticking with the business, not, you know, getting bored and going on to the next shiny object, next bit, another thing that people show on TikTok and stuff. But yeah, so let me just turn on to the A1 here. Nice day today, which is awesome. So nice and sunny, a bit cold, but there we go. So what other questions do people tend to ask me? And by the way, I do coaching, guys, so if you want to get started on Amazon, well, first watch that video. I'm going to put a link here. Go and watch that video on how to get started. And in that, I say there's 3 ways to get started, to learn. 1 is to do it for free. You can just learn from YouTube. You know, watch my channel, watch my videos. There's a bunch of other channels out there. You know, you can do it for free, no problem whatsoever. 2, you can join a Discord group. You know, the 2 that I recommend are Mental Picks, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to join that. And that is a fantastic group for doing retail arbitrage. So that is you going into Tesco's or Asda or whatever store it is and buying items. That is a fantastic group to learn retail arbitrage. And they do some online arbitrage as well, and they are getting better at it, but retail arbitrage is their specialty. And then the other one is Resale Concierge, which I think is the best Discord group for doing online arbitrage. So again, if you want to join that group, see this link in the description. So yeah, but the first one's learn it yourself for free, no problem, you can do that. It takes longer, you've got to take a lot of knowledge in, you've got to throw a lot of it away, a lot of it's bullshit, you know, but you know, you'll learn over time. The second one's the Discord group route, which I think is the best one. It's first you're going to join a good community of people who are also learning as well and experienced. You know, you get a variety of people in there, you can ask questions. It's the most cost-effective one as well. You know, it costs somewhere between £50 to £80 a month to join these groups. You can dip in and out as much as you want. They help you with leads, they've got good guides, things like that. So, you know, it's the most cost-effective way. And then the third way is to hire a coach. And that is obviously the best way in terms of, you know, the fastest and best way to learn is, I guess, with a coach. But it's obviously the most expensive. So I charge £100 per hour currently to do coaching, and I have to turn some people down sometimes. I don't want to do too much, you know, I don't want to be a full-time coach. I just take students on as and when. And, you know, it's going to take you 5-10 hours worth of, you know, coaching to get to the point where you'll be making a real decent amount of money. That is the quickest way, it's the best way. You're going to get the most tailored knowledge and be able to ask questions and get a direct answer. But obviously it's the most expensive way. But at the same time, you know, you have to put money into this business to get money out of it, just like any business. So, you know, but anyway, check the video out. I've already put the link up, hopefully. I'll put the link in the description as well to, you know, both of those Discord groups. And if you want coaching as well, you can check out the link in the description. And if you also want to check out that video as well. And by the way, guys, in that video I mentioned there's a special offer, and I'll mention it here as well. If you sign up to Mental Picks, if using my affiliate link, if you sign up to Resale Concierge using my affiliate link, and if you sign up to SellerAmp or Sellerboard as well, if you want to join, get those pieces of software, for every one of those you sign up to, I'll give you 15 minutes of free coaching. So if you sign up to all 4, I'll bump it up from an hour and give you 1 hour, 30 minutes worth of coaching for absolutely free, one-on-one coaching. So if you sign up to all 4 of those, or if you sign up to 1, you know, you get 15 minutes. So if you sign up to all 4, you get an hour and a half. That's a value of £150. That basically covers your subscription costs for the month. So I think that's a fantastic offer. You know, if I get too many sign-ups, then I'm going to have to, you know, cut that offer off. But right now that offer exists. And by the way, you can always reach out to me on Discord at FBA Mogul. I'm on there, or you can email me. I'll put the email in the description. You can email me. But once you sign up to those, just get in touch with me and we'll arrange a coaching call. So that's a special offer that I'm running right now. Yeah, so obviously I'm getting paid to promote these groups and softwares. These are the groups and software that I use though, so I only recommend things that I A, like, and B, use myself. I won't promote any other things that I don't agree with. There is a certain accounting software out there, not software, but accounting service that you may see that a bunch of YouTubers promote. Starts with O, and I use them now, and they are absolutely terrible. And while I could probably make a few £100 per sign up from that accounting software, I will not promote them because I think they are utterly terrible, and I wouldn't want to put anyone through the stuff that I've been through with that software/service. So I have 100% integrity when it comes to this thing. I only promote things that I use myself and that I actually think are going to help people and actually good. So yeah, so if you do sign up to those guys, you get the free coaching, and it really helps me out as well. Helps out the channel, helps me out. So, and it'll help you out as well, because you get some free coaching and you can get started on your journey or learn how to scale your business. So yeah, what else have we got to talk about then? So I'm about halfway to my parents in Cambridge, going for Sunday lunch. But yeah, trying to think really, what have I learned in the past sort of year of Amazon? I think the main thing I've learned, as I just touched on previously, is specialise in a category. Really specialise in Amazon. Don't be a generalist. I think being a generalist is a bad thing. And yeah, if a good deal pops up, and you can make money on it, fine. But really, one thing I've definitely been doing recently is being really strict about what I'm buying. So if a Discord group posts a link out for a product, I'm really looking through it and trying to really understand, is this a good product to buy? I'm looking at the keeper charts. I'm making sure that it's got a good price history, that it's going to be able to sell a decent volume. And I'm passing up on quite a lot of stuff, but then I'm going deeper on the items that I think are really good. So that's one thing I think I've definitely learned in the past sort of year or so, is to be way more restrictive on what I buy and don't just go for everything. Now, obviously that means I'm probably going to be missing out on some items where, I think it was a bad buy, but it turns out to be a good buy. That is, I guess, the risk I take. And it's a balancing game, really. It's a balancing game. You can't get everything perfect, but, yeah. Another thing I've learned as well is, I've niched down into a specific category now. And while I do sell still health and beauty, although I'm getting out of that, I will still sell a specific item in health and beauty, but I won't sell most of the items like the creams and stuff like that. But yeah, I've basically gotten into a specific category, and that's where I'm kind of niching down. And yeah, I'll still sell a headset, a gaming headset if a good price comes along, if it's an Amazon to Amazon deal. And that's one of the great things about these Discord groups, by the way. You get access to Amazon deals. And I'll admit it's been a little bit dry recently, but that's how Amazon to Amazon works. It's a little bit dry, and then suddenly you get a bunch of different things pop up. And and one great thing about Resale Concierge, by the way, is they do Amazon to Amazon, but they also do Amazon to Amazon from Europe to UK. So you can buy items from, say, Amazon Germany and sell them in the UK. And probably the best one I've had recently was these little SSD hard drives for computers, NVMe, very small little hard drives. And I think I was buying them from Amazon Germany for, I think, £60 or £70 each, and they were selling for £150 plus on Amazon UK. And I was making sort of £50 profit per unit, which is fantastic. And obviously it's a hard drive. It was a good brand like Samsung. Sold out really quickly. So that's been a really good one. And Resale Concierge posts those out, and it's been a little bit dry recently. I'm not going to admit that, but yeah. But then you get Prime Day, and you end up spending £50,000 in one day. So it swings and roundabouts. And that's the other good thing I learned as well about Amazon is you get these dry periods. Like right now, I think everyone's really struggling to find deals. It's a real drought for deals right now, especially in health and beauty, where most people sell. So you get these periods of drought and of what's the word, famine and feast, or whatever it is. So you need to be able to understand that if you're having a bad time sourcing, it might not just be you, it might just be that there's no good deals on right now. And my advice to people that are struggling during those kind of, times where it's tough, is to go back and look through all your replens. Look at the items you've sold in the past and see if you can replenish any of them. One thing I definitely neglected in my first sort of year of Amazon was all my replens. I was always looking for the next deal and the next deal and the next deal, but I wasn't looking back to go, oh, can I restock this item? And that turned out there were 3, 4, 5 or more items that I could restock. So that's definitely worth looking into if you're struggling, or even if you're not. It's always worth going back and looking. Going back to talking about seasonality and all kind of stuff like that, the other thing is to learn about sales cycles. So once you get good at a category, you're going to learn about the sales cycles of a particular brand, of a particular website. You might find that, example might be Holland & Barrett, for example. Every 3 months they do like a big 50% off coupon code, along with like buy 3 for 2 or whatever it is. So you can combine those into one. Not that I suggest you source from Holland & Barrett. You shouldn't. It's one of the worst sites to source from. It's one of the most heavily sourced sites. But the point is that every single site has essentially a sales cycle. It might be every month, it might be every 3 months, it might be once a year that these sites have a big clear out or a big good voucher. And the more you learn about a category and different sites, the more you're going to notice these things. And then you can, let's say a site, does a sale every 3 months. Well, then you know that you need to be stocking up on roughly about 3 months worth of stock of a particular item to send into Amazon, and then you've got enough to last until the next one comes around. So if you get that right, you'll be selling out just as the next, sales cycle comes along, or have a little bit of stock left, and be able to replenish it when the new sale comes on. So all these things need to be thinking about, somewhat, I guess, advanced stuff. It seems so simple when you talk about it, but like a lot of people neglect this kind of information, really. But if you've got any questions for me, feel free to put them down in the comments. Any questions you guys ask, I can answer next time I do a video, or I do a drive back, and I can then keep it in my head and then answer it. I'm always happy to help people out. You can always reach out to me on Discord, at FBA Mogul. You can DM me. I'm always happy to answer the question, a few questions here and there. Obviously I do the coaching, and I have limited time as well. But I'm happy to answer like the occasional question here and there. Obviously, if you send me a bunch of questions, like 10, 20 questions, I might not get back to you for ages, and I might not get back to you at all. If you ask me 1 or 2 questions, I will get back to you much sooner. But yeah, and if you want kind of like, if you've got 10 or 20 questions, then, you really kind of need to get a coaching hour with me, or half hour. Well, I do an hour minimum basically, so, book an hour with me. I love to help people out, but at the same time I'm extremely busy. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I guess I'm making right now is I've got my fingers in too many pies. I am building, obviously, my entire life right now is focused on FBA, which is good, so I'm very focused on FBA. My entire life is FBA right now. So obviously I'm selling on FBA on Amazon, which is great. I'm making really good money doing that. I am doing YouTube as well, obviously, you're seeing this, FBA Mogul. Again, related to Amazon, which is great, but obviously it's another thing I need to work on, film the videos, edit the videos, etc. And then I've got my software as well, which I've created, amazseller.com, which the first time I mentioned this video. So I've got that I'm promoting. What else? I'm also starting a private label brand as well, which I won't talk too much about now, but it's another thing I'm doing with my older brother. So another thing related to Amazon, but more private label. So I'll have, and I'm a beginner at private label. I'm 100% admit that. I don't profess to be an expert at private label. So I'll have, hopefully over time, as I do that, I'll be learning more, and I'll have more knowledge to impart onto people who want to do private label. I was looking to get into wholesale, but admittedly, I've not put much time into it, so that's the first thing. But it does seem like quite a tough business model. The margins seem to be really small, every wholesaler I've signed up to, the prices have just been absolutely terrible, like absolutely awful. I don't know how they even stay in business. So it's a very difficult business model to get into. People obviously do it. I'm not like putting it down. I've just found it crazily difficult to get into. But admittedly, at the same time, I've not put a huge effort into it, and that's probably why. What else am I doing? And then I'm also working on some custom software for myself, which I won't go too much into right now, but that's been taking up, a couple of hours a day on average, which I've been working on this software. And this is all around software around making it easier for me to find deals. So yeah, I won't say too much about that. I might launch it as a software for other people in the future. Right now, it's just for myself. I'm working on it. I'm prototyping it. It will be game-changing, basically, once it comes out, for me. And if I decide to let people in on it, it will be amazing. It's going to take me... So I was a software engineer, so I can code all this stuff myself, but it's going to take me somewhere between 200 to 400 hours of coding. So a long time. And then I'm also going to have to hire, 3 to 5 virtual assistants, and they're going to have to basically go through and help me with the data. So maybe you can guess what I'm doing from that, but I do need some human input into this. Some, I don't want to say grunt work, but I do need some people who are going to be willing to sit there for 8 hours a day going through data, and but it needs a human touch. It can't be done through AI and ML, and software really. Other companies have tried it. I've seen them, and they've done a terrible job of it. So the only way to really do it is to get, pay for humans to do it, and that's going to cost me 20, 30, 40,000 pounds, I guess. I'm going to have to keep those staff members on. But yeah, I might have to hire more from the beginning. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet. I might pay per bit of data that's done, or I might just pay them per hour. I'm not sure yet. So I'm being very cryptic about this software. It's not like necessarily revolutionary. It kind of has been done by some people on a limited basis, sort of half of what I'm doing, but it's not been done very well, and yeah, I don't know, that's all I can say really. So it's going to be very expensive anyway, monetarily and time-wise. And then the next thing as well is, software like this is only valuable if it's kept to a limited number of people. If it's something like, let's say, tactical arbitrage, for example, or Arbisource or whatever, software like that, which is out to the masses and anyone can sign up, all the leads just end up getting bricked. There's no use to them. So if I did release the software out to the public, and I'm not sure if I will yet, it might just be for me, and maybe a very few limited people. I would only actually sell it to maybe 20 to 25 people, and that would be the absolute limit of it, because it becomes, every extra person that comes on is, it gets too saturated, and then it becomes pointless. So if I did release it, it would be to 20, 25 people, and I'd be charging £500 a month for it, really, maybe even more. I'm not sure yet exactly. I've not really thought too much about actually releasing it out into the wild. It's been, this project is for myself. It's for myself to buy leads. It's about finding leads, so that's all I can tell you really. But you will be making, if you paid £500 a month for it, you'd be making multiple more than that every month. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that one anyway. Sorry I've been really cryptic on that, but that's something else that's been taking up a lot of my time. So right now I've been working sort of 12-hour days. I might start pushing up to even more, but I definitely felt burnout on some days doing this. I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I've been waffling on for a long time. Hopefully you find it interesting. I don't know. This is just my thoughts about things, basically. Business and FBA and stuff like that. So I can talk about anything you guys want. If you've got any comments, I can talk about business. It's my favourite topic to talk about, is money, business, ideas. So anyway, I hope you guys are find this interesting. But yes, that's what I've been working on recently, and you really should be focused on one thing. I think what I'm doing is a bit of a mistake, but I guess the only saving grace is that everything is related to FBA and Amazon selling. So, oh, it looks like there's been an accident on the opposite side of the road. So, and everyone's slowing down here to look, which is kind of annoying. So you might be able to see on the right there all the traffic. Yeah, I do think focus is really important. Focusing on one thing at a time. That is kind of critical. So, yeah, anyway, but right now I've decided to do these multiple different things, and I may have to drop some things as time goes on. Obviously I'll still be selling on Amazon. That's my primary income source right now, although I've not paid myself anything yet. But yeah, I guess another video, I think, just off the top of my head here, I'm thinking of a great video. I've got so many tips for people who want to get into, who are starting on Amazon, like from an admin point of view, from an accounting point of view, what mistakes I made and how you shouldn't make those same mistakes. So yeah, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like videos that'd be really good for people, very useful for people. But essentially it's just around the whole like admin point of view when you do Amazon, making sure your admin's on point, making sure you're getting those invoices, understanding how taxes work. Again, I'm not an expert, but I know a lot of this stuff now. VAT as well. I've done a few VAT returns now, which have been kind of fun. Not really, paying the government out money, but it is what it is. You can't avoid the taxes, so you've got to pay it. Oh, police car on the opposite side of the road. Probably going to that accident. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm probably going to wrap it up in a minute because I keep waffling on. And if you enjoyed the video, yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know how you felt about the video. Was the video quality good? Was the audio quality good? Hopefully it is good with this thing. There'll be a bit of background noise from the road, but yeah. And I'll just leave it there basically. But yeah, thanks guys. Please like, comment and subscribe. Please check out my affiliate links in the description if you're looking to join any Discord groups, or if you're looking to get some software such as Seller Amp or Seller Board. I would really appreciate it, and you get some free coaching out of it as well. So perfect, from some free one-on-one coaching. So yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video.